Hello and welcome to my preview for the Ultimate Chaos mod designed by Steel Blade. Now this is an awesome mod I'm going to be showing you guys. It gives you a whole new feel for the Chaos faction. It's a very well done mod. Granted, I do feel certain things are a bit overpowered, but that's quite alright. Some of these characters should be overpowered based on lore, especially when we're talking about Bloodthirsters. So when you start out, you'll notice different buildings you'll be able to create. And one of those buildings that you can start off with is the Cultist building, which will actually give you income and also some reduction in upkeep for those particular units. Now what I'm going to do immediately is swap out Sigvold for one of these new generals. As you can see as we're looking through the list, you got Chaos Lords of Khorne, you got an Exalted Lord of Change, but I'm looking for the Bloodthirster. So we got one with Blood Soak. We're gonna go with Moxia here. So this is something I recommend trying out. As you can see, we got Chaos Lords of Nurgle and Slaanesh as well. But the Lord of Change, and of course the Bloodthirster, which is pretty badass. I highly recommend. But the upkeep's quite substantial, so we're going to go ahead and disband some of our army, and it's well worth it because of how powerful the Bloodthirster is. We're going to get this building to increase our income. That way we can have some sustainability. And as you can see, there's more sustainability based off of teching as well. Now we're going to go ahead and skip ahead to the future, where you'll get to see more units and a much larger battle from a campaign that's well over 200 turns. So let's fast forward in time, shall we? Alright, so correction. This campaign's actually over 300 turns. I've invested quite a bit of time in this because I've been having a lot of fun and the dwarves have been quite stubborn in leaving the area. Now, I found the early game campaign to be quite difficult. I had probably 4 20 stacks chasing after me almost on turn 2 or 3. It did not take very long for them to send a huge force after me, and that was nonstop for a while. So that Bloodthirster came in handy and was battle hardened quite early on. And as you can see, I got Archeon here, who's bringing along some Dragon Ogres and the Great Unclean One, and a Nurgle army to support it, while Kolek, who is currently building a Tzeentch army with Pink Horrors, is still constructing soldiers. Now if we look at the skill tree, you got the Mark of Khorne, Mark of Nurgle, if we keep sliding over, Mark of Slaanesh, Mark of Tzeentch for Archeon. So Archeon gets to have all of them. He's special. Now, it's always good to tech down only one tree with the different generals, because that's going to determine the compatibility with that army. Otherwise, they're going to have a lot more upkeep if you start crisscrossing them over into one army. Except, of course, for Archeon, assuming you have enough skill points for it. And in this case, in this particular session, I am using Prometheus skill points, so I can have more skill points for my generals. Now, if we go south, you can see I have Khorne armies trying to clear out the dwarves. This is just one of them. This isn't my main force, but this one is quite powerful with the Warhounds and the Bloodletters. Now meet Moxia, my most powerful general. Moxia is the Exalted Bloodthirster. And then we have a Cultist Master here who can summon demons, followed by Galrock the First Chaos Dragon, which is another amazing unit, along with the Bloodthirsters to support him. Between the Dragon and Moxia and my other Bloodthirster in the army, it's an unstoppable force to be reckoned, and we're going to take that army to the dwarves. Now here I'm just showing off the champion of Nurgle that's in the army. The reason he's in that army is because he has Plague Doctor, casualty replenishment. So he does have a lot of upkeep just to be in that Khorne army. However, it is very handy. As you can see, Moxia here has some very, very powerful abilities here, increasing his damage, his speed. You can see his weapon strength is over 1,000. This is a very, very powerful unit, and most importantly, he's got ward save. That ward save is at currently 43%. So 43% damage he's just ignoring. Upkeep minus 30% for Khorne units. So between the blue tree and the building techs and the actual tech tree for research, you can make a surplus with all your Khorne armies quite easily. You see this upkeep minus 50% for Chaos Demons from this Demonic Rift building. Then I got income generation from the Chaos Cult Gathering. And then even more reduction in demons by 30% from the Altar of Chaos, and then the blue tree, of course, which reduced another 30% for all Khorne units. So Khorne armies are very, very cheap, and it's quite overpowered in that sense, especially when you add on the fact that the research tree here gives me income from all buildings plus 75% when it's maxed out. Now, if I go to the north here, I have Sigvold, working with my undead allies that I vassalized to help be rid of what's left of the human factions. Looks like we're gearing up to go after either Grenstad next, which only has a unit of 9 in their garrison, That's no challenge. Slashing his demon nets and his pulsating pleasure cannon needs something more of a challenge. Let's go to Faldorf. They got a lot larger army waiting to be destroyed to test our army. But I'm not going to show this battle right now. The battle I wish to show you guys is much larger. And that's going to be Moxia fighting a huge stack of dwarves. So, technically in their favor, but I believe that the Bloodthirsters and the dragon by themselves is enough to keep them busy. Along with the support of the Khorne warriors and the Bloodletters and a few chosen units and a summoner, there's no chance they're going to win. As you can see, Thorgrim Grudgebearer is here. And Ungrim Iron Fist. Two powerful legendary lords and a huge army of dwarves to support them against my 120 stack of demons. So let's do this. Let's show this off. Allow me to introduce you to my Khorne warriors, Bloodthirsters, and Galrock, the first Chaos Dragon. As you can see, he is enormous. Look at that wingspan. He just covers the units. And in battle, he's even more devastating. He has massive knockback traits, on top of huge amounts of health and a couple of Bloodthirsters. Oh man, it's brutal. These dwarves are not going to stand a chance despite their numbers. Even though the autocalc says that they would annihilate my army, that's far from true. So let's go ahead and get this party started. Now it appears that they have a couple reinforcement points, one of which is right there on my flank, which is what we're going to deal with right now. So let's bring my entire army off to this right flank and give these guys a bit of a surprise. First in the battle is going to be my Khorne Bloodletters. Bring over our Bloodthirster. Bring over the dragon. Get our Khorne warriors ready to protect the flank as well, in case they do happen to move in on us. We'll have some units prepared for that. Move them a bit forward in case there is any sort of response. I don't think they will, as I am the aggressor. They will be on the defensive. The Hell Cannon ready. We're just about all set. And that's our Nurgle champion. Just had to get a close-up of him. Check out that sickle. It's really awesome. And he's durable. It's very hard to kill him, especially with regeneration as a passive. Alright, move forward. Let's stop them right where they stand. Don't give them an opportunity to do anything. Let's charge on in. Now those Slayers, even though they're anti-large, are going to get torn up by my Bloodletters. Especially since we got the jump on them. Look how huge the dragon is. He just covers those units and knocks them all down. I've already almost lost all those units. Let's get a close-up of the carnage here. Oh, looks like we got some escapees here. We can't have that, now can we? Let's do something about that. Send our Bloodthirster their way. One of our warrior units. As you can see, Bloodthirsters are incredibly fast. They've already caught up to that unit almost instantly. Alright, reform the line. Looks like we almost got things handled here. Now the cultists can actually heal my Bloodthirster demons, making them even more durable and indestructible. Quite a powerful combination. Don't let them get away, guys. Take them down. Speed on up. Bring them back. They're too slow. My Bloodthirsters can handle it. Get that Hell Cannon closer. So as you can see, the main dwarf force is just sitting on its mountain, so we're going to have to go to them eventually, but it looks like it's going to be a little bit until we've had this flank secured. As we kill more units, they keep sending in more. As they are over the limit on how much they can field in the battlefield, this position will be a constant reinforcement point. But as you can see, they stand no chance against my Bloodletters of Khorne. With Moxia chasing down that unit, they're pretty much finished. Just kind of cleaning up at this point while they try to retreat. Looks like we have another unit that's trying to make its grand escape. Let's send some warriors after him on each flank. Let's bring our dragon along too. Now this is not going to be the happy place for these long beers. They're about to get hit hard. Here comes the carnage. Let's get a close-up of all this. Dragon sandwich. Dwarf dragon sandwich. Leave nothing left. They're done. Alright, so while we're securing this flank, and for the sake of time, I am going to speed things up to the main event. Now to help demonstrate the power of Moxia and his bloodthirster companion, and my dragon, they're all going to go in, just the three of them. They have quite a bit of artillery just waiting for my main force, so we're going to go disrupt everything before sending everybody in. And the three of them are going to be more than enough for that entire army. We'll show these dwarves exactly what they can do, and not to mess with the chaos. As they focus fire Moxia, he's just going to dive right in there, take out those flame cannons. Meanwhile, the other Bloodthirster has different orders to attack another set of cannons. And these Iron Drakes will be handy to take down as well. They have lots of anti-infantry, so this strategy is going to work out for me to reduce my casualties. Now, Hell Cannon's almost in position as well. So we'll see if they decide to respond to the Hell Cannon. Looks like we're within range. Let's start firing. Meanwhile, army is on standby. We also have to keep an eye on those gyrocopters. I might be able to... Looks like these gyrocopters might do something very silly. They are responding to Moxia, and let's see if they dump the ammunition on top of it. Yep, here we go. They're bombing their own troops. Benefit to my army. Here comes another bombing run. AI is not particularly smart. I don't think a demon of corn minds being bathed in fire. But with all this ward save, he is not going down. Looks like their general is coming after me now. Now, I do have to keep an eye on the dragon. He does take a lot of damage despite his power. He gets focus fired quite heavily when you send him in on his own by ranged attacks. But luckily, quite a bit of their army is still on the other side, and they are trying to focus fire Moxia, the leader, who can handle most of the brunt of their force by himself. Dragon Bath. Fire Dragon Bath. Alright, they're going to pull him around. Let's keep our Hell Cannon shooting as much as possible. Right around there. There's a good solid hit. Keep the buffs recycling. Now let's see. Let's give my dragon a new job. We do have to keep an eye on the Slayers. He would destroy the Slayers quite easily, but if I ignore it for too long, they could do some potential damage to the dragon. One of the nice things about the dragon is how fast he is. He can chase down these helicopters. Pretty soon, I'm going to give him orders to take down the gyrocopters. That way, when my main force comes in, they have nothing to worry about as far as bombing runs are concerned. Get him closer to the gyrocopter, but at the same time, want to get a charge attack on these infantry. Soften them up a bit. He knocks them all down and breathes his chaotic fire all over them. Such a majestic beast. Trying to get their cannon out of there. Unfortunately, my cannon is cross-eyed over there. Not very good at launching his shots into the masses of dwarves. the dwarves are not in their happy place. They're trying to maintain some sort of formation as they fear the main army, but they still have to respond to my dragon and the bloodthirsters amongst their ranks. So let's go ahead and finally start thinking about this Skyhammer. I don't want him bombing my units, and the dragon is more than powerful enough to take him on quite efficiently. Unless, of course, he decides to miss his attacks. Let's try that again, shall we? And again, another miss. It looked like he did a little bit of damage. There's a solid hit. They're not going to be able to handle much more of those. Spoilers are trying to respond to save the gyrocopter. They are doing quite a bit of staggering. But one or two more good hits and that copter's down. Alright, one more hit. It's going to try and make us escape. But our dragon is just way too fast. Watch him catch up. As you can see, his speed is at 180. That is very fast. Done. Send him back. Without the Skyhammer, I feel a lot more confident sending in my main force, which I'll be gearing up to do here shortly. Just make sure our bloodthirsters are ready to keep them busy. Move in. About right there. I like to keep them on level ground. So we'll first take this flank, and then we'll send them on the flat ground. As you can see in the distance where we were fighting earlier, they have reinforcements still coming in. But at this point, they're so far away, their response is just going to be too long. They can send a unit of bloodletters after that small contingent of thunderers. I can also turn the hell cannon against it once I'm ready. Just keep missing, passing right over their heads. Being short's paying off for the stunties today. Right there. Perfect. If they do decide to hit my left flank, it'll be a downhill charge. But they're so busy with Moxia and the Bloodthirster, I don't think they're going to get that opportunity. They got 3 units of reinforcements. Let's cancel orders of these Bloodletters, because they might actually lose that. We can probably defeat the army before they even make it here. Now, I would like to get everyone engaged now, so I can find a position to summon some pink horrors with our cult master, with our cultist grandmaster. Pink horrors are incredibly powerful, and I would love to demonstrate that here shortly. Alright, we're getting peppered by some gyrocopters. Hopefully we can get Moxie to respond to that soon. Not Moxie, but my dragon. Those buffs. Alright. Their generals are meeting with my warriors. Let's try to ignore them. Now, about those pink horrors, where's a good spot to place them? I want to get them behind their lines. But I need to make sure they're not going to get charged by any dwarves. So we got to tie up all their infantry to get max potential out of my pink horrors. See, this unit's trying to make an intercept course. Lots of fire, lots of explosions. Alright, looks like we can do it. Here we go. Time for their grand entrance to the battlefield. Here they are. Now, the pink horrors are basically just pink versions of dryads. But what they do mechanically is a lot different. Start turning our hell cannon on those reinforcements. Boom. Crispy dwarves, anybody? Very powerful unit. Now you can recruit these without having to summon them if you go down the tree for his niche. Oh, flame cannons. Let's make sure we tie up that flame cannon. We don't want it hitting our troops in the back. Let's get everybody involved here shortly. Let's pull them back because they might need to respond. Get a Bloodletter's Corn after those Thunderers. Protect the rear flank. I think we got this without them at the main battle. Pink Horrors got tied up, which is what I was worried about. And of course, it's by a unit that should, for all intents and purposes, be dead. It has no health left. And they're sending another one. So let's get our Bloodthirster to deal with that. We also have a Cone Fire spell I can use. I can fire that off. Perfect. Now there are some new items that come with this mod. Moxie just used one of them. It gives them 3 consumables, one of which is healing, another which is AP and attack damage, and then another one for damage resistance. It appears we have killed one of their generals. So pretty soon those dwarves are going to be thinking about retreating, and victory will be ours, which looks like it's going to happen right about now. Alright, battle's in the bag. That is a victory for Khorne. Now there's a lot to this mod. Feel free to explore it. Lots of new agents, the new generals, new skill trees, and I still didn't even get an opportunity to show you all the units. So have fun. Definitely take a look at this mod if you're feeling like you want to play a Chaos campaign, but the vanilla just isn't quite right for you. You'd feel like it's maybe a little underpowered or just a bit bland. This will spice things up, and it'll change the way your campaign works, and is a lot of fun to play with. Granted, I do feel it is a little overpowered in certain regards. It's definitely overpowered in certain regards, but it doesn't take away from the fun. And that's what this is about. It's about having fun. Hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good one, guys.